Hello, my name is Brian with Simcoe Survival, and I wanted to go ahead and do a quick discussion with you guys about rope and what kinds of rope you should carry with you and the differences between them. I have three separate options here. I wish I had a climbing rope, but the one that I have is very expensive, and I'm still trying to get enough money to put away to go ahead and purchase that. So I want to go through the differences in the kind of rope, because this one can actually save your life, and it's important to know the difference between a climbing rope and a utility rope. They aren't the same thing. You shouldn't consider them the same thing. What the difference is between fake paracord and real paracord. I see a lot of people talking about, oh, this one's fake, this one's real, but nobody actually shows you how to tell the difference. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here now. First, I'm going to start with your climbing rope versus your utility rope. Now, what I have here is a utility rope. This is what you're going to find at Walmart. This is what you're going to find at Home Depot. This is not climbing rope. This is good for crossing rivers, tying up a tent, things of that nature. This does not hold enough weight to be a climbing rope. And one of the key characteristics that differ from this one to another one, or to a climbing rope, is this one is not abrasion resistant. What that means is when you put that rope around a tree, or you wrap the rope and put it down the cliff, the act of the rope moving around is going to start to break fibers. Climbing ropes are made to resist that. This is not. If you ever watch a movie where you see the rope starting to break and getting rubbed off on the rock, that's abrasion. And this rope will do exactly what you see in the movies, and you go falling down the cliff. This is not meant for that. A climbing rope, a real legitimate climbing rope, is going to be expensive. The one I want is about $167 for a 200-foot length, which is fairly short for a climbing rope. So do not go to Lowe's or Home Depot or Walmart, buy a rope like this, and think you can climb with it. It's not going to work. You should carry this type of rope, but this is going to be a river crossing general purpose rope. Now let's go ahead and go over here to your paracords. Okay, this one here is a paracord made by UST, Ultimate Survival Technologies. I purchased this at Walmart for the purpose of seeing if it's worth anything. This is their 1,100 pound version. I also have their 550 bright orange for the purpose of marking traps and things like that. There are 13 strands inside of this cord, plus the sheath. So you got 14 total strands if you really look at it. Okay? This is utility cord. This is not paracord. A lot of people, especially on Amazon, will try to pawn this off as paracord. It isn't. Let me show you how you can tell. Okay? If you take and you peel back some of these strands here, alright? And you take the sheath and you peel it back like this. Okay? There's only one strand inside of this rope. It is not good as paracord. Now granted, you can take this and you can tie things with it. There's nothing wrong with that. But it doesn't have the same strength. This one strand is not as strong as one strand that you would get out of this rope. And I'll take this one apart and show you here in just a second. Okay? So the whole purpose of carrying a paracord with you is that you can take the rope out of the center, the core rope, which is or in this case, it's 1,100 paracord, so it's 13 separate strands. This paracord is rated to 1,100 pounds. 550 paracord is rated to 550 pounds. This one is about twice as thick as 550. So let me go ahead and show you what I mean when I say 13 strands. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not, but I'll do my best. Basic knife safety, don't cut towards you. Now this is where having serrations on your knife comes in handy, although I don't like serrations. Okay, so right here I just cut this paracord. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pull this apart, kind of give you an idea. Paracord doesn't tend to come apart easily, and I don't want to shred the whole thing because I had to put it back in my bag, but I just want to show you demonstration purposes here. So I'm going to take a little bit of it apart. I'm going to go ahead and cut here. Yes, this is a very dull knife. Alright, let me see if I can get this to work out a little bit better here. Take this, pull it back, so I can grab the fill wires, pull those out. Okay, now as you can see here, I don't know how well you can see it, but you have 13 of these little wires, these strings, okay? Each one of these strings has a purpose. You can take these strings and you can use them to tie a shelter together, or go fishing, or unravel some of these strings, because they do unravel, okay? Becoming even smaller strings that you can use then for dental floss, or if you pull them apart even more, as you can see here, you can even create your own. Let me see if I can get it to work right. I use the strings that are this small, strings like this, to wrap fletching around arrows. Now, I've done a lot of primitive survival research and things like that. And what the Indians used to do is they would take a little strand of sinew like this, and they would wrap it around with the feather on the arrow, and then in essence reconnect the feather together so that it didn't have any holes or anything in it, by using a really thin strand. So you can use it for that. Let me grab another one here. You can use it for sewing thread. If you break it apart a little bit more, you can use it for sewing thread. You can use this stuff for pretty much anything that requires cordage. And the benefit is, this right here is a 50-foot roll of 1100 paracord. What that means is, I can take that number, multiply it by 13, and that gives me the actual number of footage that I have of this. Okay? Because I have 13 strands of this, each one being 50 feet long. And then you also have the outer sheath. Now what I like to use the outer sheath for is tying the post for shelter together, things of that nature. Because I actually find that this is more useful for other things, while the sheath tends to really only be useful for tying. Now, as you can see, with the one strand here versus the 13 strands here, okay, this one isn't really going to be useful. I'm sure you can pull it apart to some degree, but it's not going to give you the same utility as this cord will. So now you know the difference. You know what a utility cord is, and you know what a paracord is. Stay away from this. This is a really cheap alternative, but it's cheap for a reason. And like I said, when you're doing survival type situations or bug out bags or anything like that, you really need real paracord. Now, for those of you watching the video that are really into bug out and survival and all of that kind of stuff, you already know this, and well, this is all pretty basic information for you. But for those of you just getting started on it and asking yourself that question, how come this is better than this? I hope this video helped you out. And I cannot stress enough, do not climb with this. This is information that can save your life. Don't climb with this. This is just for river crossings and things of that nature. general purpose work where you need a larger rope. So, I hope you found this information helpful. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, please leave a comment below. Thank you so much. And remember, if you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe. Please have a great night. Bye-bye.